Manchester United 2, Villarreal 0 in what was a must-win game for Manchester United, and we got it done. Obviously, Carrick's first game in charge of Manchester United as the current interim. Um, I must confess, in which was the full game, I could hide because I've been out, busy working, etc. So, but I just thought I'd give a brief reaction and just discuss a few things. I did watch a few highlights, speaking to people and just seeing what the actual result was. I guess the first good thing is it's important that we won the game at the end of the day. I think that United will probably beat Young Boys at Old Trafford, so we'll top the group, which means that we should in theory get a nice nice draw. Assuming that PSG, the only team I think would be PSG that wouldn't want to play if they finish second from City. So fingers crossed that PSG top their group. Otherwise, I'd want to avoid them. But everyone else, if we get a good coach in before the round of 16, which will be in February, we've got a chance, with this team. So the most important thing was that we won the game at the end of the day. A 2-0 win, comfortable, clean sheet for the first time in ages with Magaluf in defence, So, yeah. Was the performance great overall? From what I can gather, I don't think it wasn't great. But obviously Carrick made the changes, bringing obviously Rashford and Bruno, and that's happened before sometimes when even under Oli, when Rashford and Bruno came on, really meant to change the game. There's an argument that you can make that they could be classed as, I won't say they're bench players, but impact players. They often are impact players. Sancho, certainly in the second, well, I think overall Sancho had a good game, but certainly the second half had a much better game. And I was good to see him playing on the right inside. It was good they started Van der Beek, giving him that time in that 10 role, because that's where he played for Ajax. I know he did play further deeper in the previous game, but he's doing his thing. Shout out to Fred. I think a lot of people are going to ignore his contributions, especially with the first goal. People calling it a goalkeeping mistake. It wasn't a mistake. The defender was pressed by Fred. He went up, he passed the ball to the defender. Fred then pressed him and then won the ball so that Ronaldo could score. So shout out Ronaldo. It was great. It was a good goal. But this is the thing. It's like things this is the part of the reason why you press in games, is that you can actually obviously win the ball high up and actually score goals. That is a tactic. And to be honest, I'm very surprised that we haven't done more of that. So big up Fred, because he was involved in both of the goals. And if we could see more of that, especially maybe a Van der Beek, Fred midfield, possibly maybe that would work. I don't know, because Scott McTominay, I've not seen Scott McTominay play well for Manchester United for goodness knows how long, to be honest. I just still don't get it. The defence obviously didn't concede, but David De Gea made some fantastic saves. He's himself. He's probably been our player of the season so far, David De Gea. If he was David De Gea 2 years ago, we would be hemorrhaging goals like nothing. Ronaldo obviously, did his thing, and Ronaldo has scored in pretty much every match-winning goals in pretty much every single game in the CL. He scored the goal against Young Boys that should have won us the game, bar Wan-Bissaka being sent off. Scored the win against Villarreal. Scored the win against Atalanta. Scored the equaliser against Atalanta again, and scored the first goal against Villarreal. Man, this guy's a beast. He's a beast, and I know he's not perfect. He's older, but he's a goal scorer, man. A consistent goal scorer, certainly in the CL where he turns up. So we can get a good coach in. We can get on a decent run, because if we can get a good draw in the round of 16, suddenly you're in the quarterfinals and you think, okay, what can Manchester United do? So overall, I still don't think it paves the craps regarding the fact the coaches are there. I do think that a new manager comes in, whether that's Pochettino or Valverde. I'm hearing Valverde as interim, which I'm not sure about. But maybe Barca fans in the chat might be able to give me some feedback, because I'm always curious why Barcelona didn't go back in for Valverde and decide to risk it with Xavi. I'm sure Xavi will be fine, but I never really felt Valverde was given much of a chance people were quick to criticise Valverde and assume that things are better after it. So, but yeah, I'm just curious to see whether that's the case. But obviously, it's difficult getting an interim manager. That's the main thing, and I think the reality is that for people that just thought that we could just get Zidane, get Poch, get this. I'm a realist. I told you, those managers are not going to leave their clubs midway through the season, despite what the media reports are saying, despite what the rumours. Generally speaking, they're not going to do that. They're not. So you need to find an interim coach, and that in itself is a difficult ask, because a lot of those interim coaches probably don't want to be interim or not happy with being interim. So and I think it's a risk if we stuck with Carrick and the Madrid coaches. So if Valverde is the thing, then fair enough, we'll stick with it, and hopefully he can make a change. But ideally, a permanent coach like Poch would be ideal. But yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts on the game. Have a nice day and cheers.